Today, I want to make a video specifically on Veo3 and the AI vlogs that are going absolutely crazy on social media. My name is Adrian, and in the past, I've grown over 10 million followers on Instagram, including pages like this one right here. And I've also ran millions of dollars of ads online. And I have never seen an opportunity as big as this one. We're talking brand new Instagram accounts with only 11 posts, getting 256,000 followers in under 2 weeks. And if that's not crazy enough, the same people have gotten 429,000 followers posting the same content on TikTok as well. That's almost 700,000 followers just in the last 2 weeks. And the crazy part is they're not alone. I tracked down all of these pages on Instagram and TikTok that amount to 3.3 million new followers in the last month just using the same exact vlog Veo3 technique that I've shown before, and I'll go even more into depth in this video. Right now, everyone has the perfect opportunity to jump on this bandwagon. People are still loving this content, and the cost of generating on Veo3 has fallen by over 80% recently. Previously, I told everyone that I was going to be writing this as a newsletter, but the more that I did research, the more important I thought it was to make an actual YouTube video. If you want any updates on big pages that break out or generalized AI advice, make sure to follow my newsletter. I just set it up on my domain, so you can go to adrian.co and enter your email there. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to go through all these pages, explain practices that will help you, what to do and what not to do. And I'm mostly going to be covering the platforms of Instagram and TikTok because I found a lot of pages there. You could also do this on YouTube Shorts. In fact, I posted a YouTube short that got already 90,000 views. And because this is original content generated with Veo3, I was able to monetize it. And as you can see here, actually earned $4 for posting this content. So the first page that we're going to be analyzing is Holy Vlogs. Now I went over this a little bit in the past. The reason why this page is so good is because it taps into the faith-based mindset. So the people that follow this page are generally very religious and they like the messaging that's going on in the specific videos. And I'll play just part of the last video so you can get a little feel of what type of content they're posting.
Guys just showed up saying their God told me to let all the slaves go. Yeah, no. But hey, welcome to Egypt.
So apparently the river's bleeding now. Very dramatic, Moses. But you're still not getting your people out. Honestly, bold choice.
Okay.
So basically what they're doing is they're clipping together multiple scenes where they're describing a given person, generally with a religious background, and they're making content that's extremely relatable and that people like. And you'll notice each one has slightly different characters, and that definitely helps in the strategy because the consistency of the characters can definitely be an issue when you're generating on Veo3. In general, I'd say this is a great niche that probably needs more competition from high quality videos, but I'm not super knowledgeable about the space, so let's move on. Alright, so the second page we have on Instagram is KK Aussie Vlogs. This one has 12.7 thousand followers, so in no ways a huge breakout. However, you can see their first post got 35,000 likes, and that's just wild. And some of these contents that they make is very realistic for you to get a good shot like this within a few generations on Veo3. So I'll play this video so you can get a little bit of a feeling.
G'day mate, welcome to KK Aussie Vlogs. We're about to explore this wild place and I'm ready to hop into action.
Look at that, mate, the Opera House. We've made it to Sydney.
Yeah, it's big, but where's the nearest tree?
So you'll see it's super simple, but the things that they do really well is they have two characters and they act like they are the ones running the page with the profile picture, so that's going to get more people to follow. And then the second thing is they're appealing to people that like animals. They're appealing to people that like AI, of course, and then also potentially traveling or Australia. So people that want to travel to Australia or people that live in Australia. So they're hitting a lot of points when it comes to this page. So here's the next page, Biggie the Foot. One thing you'll probably notice on this list, there are a lot of Yeti vlogs and a lot of Bigfoot vlogs. And I think the reason for these two is they're very recognizable characters, but also the consistency of them is very good. So you can just put in Bigfoot does blah, 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 and it will do it to the T. Whereas with the people, you need to have large descriptions on the characters so that they stay more or less the same between clips. I'll give you a brief overview of what this type of content is, but as you can see here, it's basically this one video here that's probably led to the 100,000 followers.
Oh no.
Hey bro, the lighter got wet. We gotta go back. Guys, flashlight also got wet, so we're kind of cooked for real.
And you can see they also implement a little bit of like hood theming in here, which does pretty well on Instagram. The next page we have here is alien interviews. As you've probably seen before, the street interviews with Veo3 are really good. And to kick it up a notch, they just changed the characters with aliens. So I'll just play this content.
What's something about humans you just can't understand?
Why do they call it taking a dump when they're clearly leaving it?
Bro,
What's something about humans?
So super simple, but it still goes viral. Here we have another one. This one is also based on interviewing, and as you can see, some of these clips are extremely simple. So I'll just play this one right here.
What's the age gap between you two?
We're about 40 years apart, but age is just a number. I knew she was the one the moment I saw her.
What's the age gap between?
So you can see these are just single clips, and they're meant to bait people into engagement based on the social dynamics or whatever that's going on. But obviously everyone is AI generated, and that's probably the most funny part. And then the next page we have here is Yeti.lore. They're at 45,000 followers. And I'm not going to play any of the videos because a lot of them are explicit and I don't want to get demonetized. However, it's just party life with the Yeti and a panda. And the next one we have is the Stormtrooper vlog. So this was a new concept that blew up, I think, in the last day or two. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got the 270,000 followers in the last few days. The content is pretty unique. Now this one you might have a little bit of an issue with the whole Disney owning Star Wars and something like that, but for now it's fine. Maybe it falls under parody or something like that. I'll be playing some of the content here and also showing you that they have a TikTok account.
All right, guys, welcome to our Tatooine Cantina food tour. First stop, whatever this is.
Pretty sure mine's still alive.
You good?
I don't think that was meat.
Right. Day off means speeder races. Greg says he knows how to ride, but we're about to find out. Greg, dude, watch the...
Man, the day was actually going good for once.
So you can see this content will do super well with anyone that's a Star Wars fan, and that's without a doubt. And then also on TikTok, we have the Stormtrooper POV page that's gotten some views. I'm not 100% sure if all these followers are from this content or the page was repurposed, but obviously the Stormtrooper niche would go very well also on TikTok. The next page we have is yet again a Yeti vlog, which is Yeti_vlog_.
Did you know that studies show brushing your teeth with your left hand doesn't work that well? Because a toothbrush works way better.
And I don't even think the content is that high quality at all or anything. I just think they were early on to potentially posting these, and the Yeti stuff just grabs people's attention and does really well. I am worried though that it will be saturated pretty soon. And then here's another page, another Bigfoot. I'm pretty confident that they asked it to speak with an Australian accent. I'll just play a clip here.
You'll never believe what I found in this abandoned campsite. These knuckleheads were cooking beans, singing songs, and for whatever reason just took off into the night, and I found a freaking Jeep. I've always wanted one of these.
So you can see the content that you can do is pretty much endless. The Yeti stuff could just go over and over again, the Bigfoot, etc. But I would really try to seek a new niche, kind of like those Stormtroopers or something like that. Because if you do break out, you'll get way more following and way more overall virality. But if you just want something that gets a few thousand followers really quick, I would copy the strategy of either the Bigfoot or the Yeti. So next we have Faith App Official. These people are doing a really good job because not only are they getting all these views and followers, but they're marketing their specific app. So they'll make all the revenue through that. They have also done stuff very similar to Holy Vlogs with these biblical-esque vlogs. However, they're doing it with the captions on the bottom in a different format. So that's one thing I recommend. Always try stuff in different formats. I recommend refactoring the videos to be portrait. I have a video showing you how to do that. Also making them the same resolution as these, adding captions. Just do everything you possibly can to make the content different, and whichever pops off, continue posting like that.
sin do you hope Jesus didn't notice?
I heckled the good thief.
Not the one mocking Jesus?
No, I yelled, "You ain't special," at the repenting one.
So you can see it's definitely propaganda to get people that like this theme to follow the page. Another page, and this one I would recommend that the person actually create a separate page with a theme to it, and I think he probably would have gotten like 10 times as many followers. But basically, he took Disney princesses and stuff like that and have them give practical advice and more human-like elements to it and relatable to social media.
Don't give up your voice for a guy who can't remember your face.
Update. Left the club early, lost my ride, and some maniac is chasing me with my own shoe. Dating tip.
So you can see that piece of content got 600,000 likes, so it's extremely attention grabbing in the algorithm, and that's pretty much the biggest takeaway when it comes to this page. So then the next page on my list is this one right here, and they're mostly doing fake news posts. Now these are going to work really well for two reasons. Either you can do it in a satirical form, or you could do it in a form where it mocks a real interview, and a lot of people, especially on Facebook and whatnot, will think it's real for sure.
Say the ordinance should reduce noise complaints overall, especially during evening hours. Officials say the evacuation will be complete by wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
So all in all, maybe doing a news station type content could do pretty well. The next page we have here is Gary Vlogs. Now this is just a vlogging sloth, so the exact same concept as the Bigfoot and whatnot, but with another animal. And this just opens the possibilities to every possible animal. As you can see, they only have 5,000 followers, but they haven't done too many posts overall to get that far. And the next page, just another example. This one is called Deep Jungle AI, and they've been doing everything basically we've been showing in the past. They have Yetis, they have Bigfoots, they have pandas. They have everything, and they just spam out content, and not everything hits, but when it does, it definitely gets some followers. They were at 90K, I think, just yesterday. And then following on to the animal niche, we have the capybaras, which of course are doing pretty well. You can see the engagement, over 1,000 likes, and sometimes over 10 or 20,000 likes on all this content, just picking a different animal and giving it pretty much the same prompts.
Gang, ya boy Cappy Poppy is back with another vlog. Guess where I'm at? That's right, ya boy's in Peru. I know what you're...
So it's just super simple content, but I'm just showing you all these pages to show that it doesn't just work once, it works many times, and you could take the same type of scripts that you had one animal do and do it with another, or do it with a similar concept. Here's a page that I found that I thought was actually super interesting. It's a bit unique, and it has a monkey that's doing drop shipping like and money earning challenges. So I'll play this really quick.
Might ruin everything. This morning someone scooped the nightstand from 2 days ago for $85, $15 under, but hey, didn't have to drag it, and we're still up, bro. 5 days of flips, some chaos, zero therapy, and we're sitting.
So the good thing about this page is it's going to attract more entrepreneurs, so you'll definitely be able to make more money monetizing a page like this. A lot of the content on this page is going viral, and that's probably because it's a more unique concept that no one has seen before. And for the last page on Instagram, we have It's Me Babu, which is just a simple monkey vlog, but you can see it's doing incredibly well, and very similar to all the other pages. And now I'm going to go really quickly through the TikTok pages. I'm pretty sure by now you get the point. A lot of them are very similar. Basically anything that works on Instagram will also work on TikTok. So we have this one, which is a Yeti vlog. They just have a ton of posts. I'm not sure all the followers are new. It's kind of a repurposed page, but you can see people are already using this to promote stuff. So in this case, they're promoting a crypto coin. So they're probably getting a fair amount of traction just based on this page. Then we have Yeti Cartel, another hood kind of Yeti page, pretty interesting, but they have very few posts. Basically, what I've noticed on TikTok is just one good post can get you like 100,000 followers, and even more so than on Instagram, especially at the current day. Then we have female Bigfoot. You know, this person did a good thing where they took a concept that was working and just tweaked it slightly, and it works to a different niche of people. But as you can see, they have so few posts and already 100,000 followers, so it worked very well. Then we have the Stormtrooper POV. I showed you that before. POV in history. This is one that's been going on a while now, even before Google Veo. But Google Veo makes this so much easier to do, and the history pages have just exploded. There's probably millions of followers of history pages. This is just one that I came across. Then we have the corporate Yeti vlogs. Yet again, another different theme to the same concept. As you can see, most of the time with these pages, the first post goes viral. So basically what they're doing is creating a bunch of accounts, and as soon as they get a piece of content that both is really good content and performs really well, then they just keep going on this page. So you can see a quick 100,000 followers right here. And then we have this koala vlogger, which again, pretty much just hit 3 million views and converted 200,000 followers. So it's pretty incredible the growth of followers that you can get on TikTok. But I will say Instagram followers are probably more valuable because they're easier to monetize and they're easier to reach on the platform. Alright, so making this content is actually super simple. So if you haven't done this before, I'm going to be linking a few videos. I did in-depth guides on creating this content and transforming it into portrait mode, and I've also made guides on automating it. I don't recommend automating it at the given moment because the costs are substantially more expensive and you're going to manually have to edit a lot of stuff. What you're going to want to do is go to flow.google, and that will lead you to this page, the Flow editor. You're going to need a subscription, either the $20 a month or $200 a month plan. I have the Ultra plan. It comes with about the same amount of credits as you pay per month. But if we pop this open and hit add AI credits, you'll see that each 100 credit is worth about $1, so about 1 cent per credit. Pretty straightforward there. When you're making content, you have this box at the bottom right here, and then you have the settings. Make sure you only output one per time because you don't want to be wasting your credits. And then you have to choose between these two options. You have Veo3 Fast, which will cost you 20 cents, and then you have Veo3 Quality, which is $1. Now this could easily change in the next few weeks, but I recommend you start on Fast and then you go to Quality once you get some good generations going. And then all that really matters is the format of how you do the prompt. I highly recommend you play around with this a bunch, but this is a great place to start. Bigfoot holding a fish, selfie camera angle, shot from extended arm perspective. Those are the words you need to get this kind of style vlog that everyone else is doing, which is pretty good. And then you can give some description of where they are or something about them. In this case, they're doing Bigfoot, so Bigfoot already has a character that the AI knows, but when you're doing people, like let's just say on a news interview or something like that, you're going to want to be way more descriptive of the person, and then when you generate more versions of the scenes, it will stay intact. And that's the reason why people do so well with the Bigfoot. All you have to do is put Bigfoot does X, Bigfoot does Y, and then when you stitch them together, it'll look more or less the same. But with characters, like if we scroll down right here, you can see this prompt right here where I gave the person a name and then I referred to Tyler, and then I usually just like to use the word says or yells or a very basic description like that. And then I also don't recommend you use the quotation mark because that's more likely to get you these really annoying captions that appear in the videos. So I'm going to leave these two prompts that you can start with. My highest recommendation is you take everything you learned in this video and think of a unique concept and then do that unique concept. And then my other recommendation is you take at least 3 scenes, so like 3 5-second things, stitch them together. So there's more content that shows up when it gets recommended and they decide to go to your page and see what other stuff you have. Just leaving one clip by itself is not really enough in this environment. And then my other piece of advice is what you do is you go here and you download all the content and edit it in your own editor. I use Premiere on my computer. You can also use CapCut on your phone. You can also use Edits app, InShot, whatever you want. But I highly recommend you don't do the editing on Google Flow because it's not really advanced enough for that yet. And like you see, you have this caption here. You're going to have to zoom it in and get rid of those captions if you want it to look really good. Okay, so here I'm going to play this example and tell you what I would do.
Hey guys, today we are catching fish. Looks like we caught a big one.
So this was pretty good. It was on the fast version, which only costed 20 cents. So the first thing I would do is download this, zoom it in so you can't see that caption on the bottom. And then maybe around here I would speed it up a little bit because the cadence of the voice is kind of off. But other than that, I think this would be a really good part of one of 3 or 4 parts for a Bigfoot vlog that could go viral on any social media. And I challenge everyone to go out there, create a new TikTok account, create a new Instagram account, even post these on YouTube Shorts. Once you make a good piece of content, you can post it on all 3 platforms. and let me know in the comments what you decided to do, if there was any traction. And that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to emphasize how big of a situation this is right now, and I guarantee you that we're at the very early stages of AI taking over social media. So if you want your best chance of getting a bunch of followers, I would act now. And if you like this video, make sure to follow me on x.com/mentor. Super valuable information and updates there. I also have a Telegram group with my breaking tool updates, so anytime there's a big update or a big video, I post that there. We already have almost 500 people. Thank you so much. And then lastly, Adrian.co is my marketing newsletter, and posting a lot of updates on Google Veo3 and 8N automations and everything that's been doing super well on my channel. Thank you all so much for the support, and I'll see you guys later.